Linda Tannenbaum is going to tell you about herself and what she's doing, and it's pretty amazing. This is Linda Tannenbaum, and she'll introduce the next speaker.
Anyway, it's wonderful to see you all, and thank you all for coming out. I know how hard it is for most of you, and it's just heartwarming to stand here. So I'm Linda Tannenbaum. I started and run the Open Medicine Foundation, the OMF, and standing next to me is Carol Head, President of Solve MECFS Initiative. And both of our organizations raise funds and manage research for MECFS. And both of our organizations raise funds mostly from disabled, desperate people who are sick and waiting to get their lives back. So obviously we're here to make sure that we ask the government for more funding. Our government is already aware that we have up to maybe 2.5 million people in just America disabled with this illness. They already know that research and funding is needed. So we're here to make it clear today so that they hear us, because we need government funding. Like many of you, I'm a parent of a daughter with MECFS. 10 years ago, when she was 16, living the life of an excited teenager, she became suddenly ill, literally dropped off at school, and then suddenly bedridden with MECFS. Of course, we didn't know what she had. Like all of you, we had to go to many, many doctors and have many expensive tests done, until finally UCLA told us, well, she has something called chronic fatigue syndrome, but there's no treatment. There's also no way to diagnose it, so it's a diagnosis of exclusion. So you're kind of on your own, except for pain management. Well, like many of you, we researched it to try to find out what's going on out there. We were sure the government must be putting money to this. We were sure there must be a cure or a treatment soon. But what we found out was the government knew about this for over 30 years, and there was no money for this. There was nobody looking for a cure, nobody looking for a treatment. This was in 2006. We needed government funding. This could happen to anybody at any time in the prime of their life. And we all know that, because it's happened to all of you. I talk to many people all the time, and you see a lot of pictures here, that have been bedridden for 10, 20, 30 years. And unfortunately, we know of so many people already who have taken their lives because they've heard there's no treatment, and they've heard there's no better tomorrow, and they've given up. And we've heard of many people who were bedridden and got a little bit better, went back to work for a little bit, and then became bedridden again and are still there. So relapse is really common. So it's really scary, and it's really hard, and it drives us, and it's our passion to keep going, to looking for research and to looking for government funding. In 2010, because we had not seen government funding, my husband and I started a nonprofit, Neuroimmune Disease Alliance. So we didn't know what we were doing. We were desperate parents, wanting to have some research start, feel like we're doing something, and not just sitting on the sidelines. But this wasn't enough. We needed government funding. What do we need? Government funding! So in 2012, I joined up with Dr. Andy Koldeman, and with the team we brought some researchers together, and we decided what are the 10 most important research items need to be done to crack this illness. We had people from Europe, people from the United States. We had a wonderful conference. But at the end of it, we had 10 top things to look for. But of course, there was no money for this. So I started Open Medicine Foundation, because there was no government funding. And what do we need? Government funding! So in 2014, I joined up with Dr. Ron Davis, that you'll hear from in a few moments. Director of the Stanford Genome Technology Center, lead researcher in the Human Genome Project, top world expert in biochemistry and genetics. So we decided that if I do the fundraising, he'll do the research. So that's what we did. We joined forces, and Dr. Davis brought on a remarkable scientific advisory board. We now have 3 Nobel laureates, 6 members of the Academy of Sciences, which of course Dr. Davis is one of them, and top experts in their field that are leading the way to do research in this illness, MECFS, and other similar illnesses. But what we really need is what? Government funding! So Dr. Davis applied for 2 NIH grants, and he got denied. Why? He'll probably tell you later. But what do we need? We need government funding. So like me, Dr. Davis and Dr. Janet Defo are parents on a mission to cure our children. But if we want answers now, we need to fundraise ourselves, and we need to do our own research. So that's what we're doing. We started the End MECFS project that most of you have probably heard about. The idea is to do research, be open with our results, share the results, encourage other researchers to jump on it and look at those results, see what they find out, and then we hope that NIH joins the party. We began full-force effort to reach out to patients and prospective donors to try to raise money to do this research. We're hoping that the NIH will stand up and take notice, because we need government funding. Of course, this is just a start. We need the government funding to fast-track this. We're trying to do as much research as possible to fast-track ideas, to fast-track results. We need millions. Both of our organizations, Open Medicine Foundation and Solve MECFS Initiative, have equally important missions. We need to solve this together and put an end to MECFS once and for all. And we need government funding. Thank you very much.